Well, this little horizontal engine has really enjoyed running with one spring off the governor. Very slowly here, which is nice. The thing I talk about when I say that when you play with your small engines or make small engines or think about small engines, models like this, with the physics doesn't scale. That's why that vertical engine is cantankerous. They already, I've talked about the mixer is not level with the fuel tank, so it goes out of adjustment quickly. It still runs really nice at a little higher speed, but as you slow it down, it just has more and more trouble. That's because there's a difference in the way that the physics calculations work. And this is probably going to be a very simple explanation, and it could be, you know, lacking nuance, but on the whole, things like friction are pretty linear. So however fast you're moving, the two different materials, whether there's oil or not, there's more friction the bigger the surface area and the more the speed, and that's all pretty linear. So if you have an engine that's, you know, got 1/4 the surface area of the parts, then the friction is generally 1/4 as much. But energy, which is the speed of the flywheel and the total amount of power involved in the engine, energy has a square in it. So when you are, say, driving a car, your car has, between a difference in speed doubles, you get 4 times as much energy. Same thing with flywheels. Even though, you know, when you make this flywheel small, if this flywheel was twice as big and the same weight, it's going to have 4 times more energy if it's twice as large. So when you make smaller engines, you end up with this problem where you have, the smaller the flywheel, you either have to make it really heavy to keep the same kind of amount of energy to swing your piston, or you need to run a little bit faster to keep energy to run your piston back and forth and keep the engine moving. And that's, you know, kind of challenging. Also, you know, we make smaller engines that have smaller intake and exhaust ports and smaller carburetors, and there is friction of the air and the exhaust moving in and out, and through those smaller passages, that's can be a little higher sometimes, depending on how they're designed. So that friction is kind of a constant level, but the energy that you're storing in the flywheel is going down exponentially as the flywheel gets smaller. And so that's part of why smaller engines can be harder to make, manage, and operate, just because you're fighting those physics that aren't scaling with the engine. They're staying more or less constant. That's also part of the reason that all, you know, antique engines are all kind of really big compared to modern engines, because the bigger they were, the easier it was to overcome the things we were learning about in the early days of engines, because those bigger flywheels carried so much more energy compared to the linear amount of friction that was being dealt with. So, otherwise, I've had a fun morning, and I haven't decided if I'm going to leave the spring off this horizontal engine I probably will have to go put it back on just to run a little quicker, but I do like the beat as it runs slowly. The nice slow run of an engine is always a good sound on these hit and miss. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this down and clean up, and I don't know, probably go for a walk or something since it's not terribly cold yet, even though it's mid-November already. And I will keep working on making a little generator and setting up a way to measure the amount of electricity I can generate. Maybe do some guessing on the kind of power that these little engines make. So, oh, and other random news, I got contacted by Sterling Kit with an affiliate link, so if you decide you want to buy some toys yourself, the shipping to the US was really outstanding from Sterling Kit. So, you know, they have a lot of cool toys, and you can, I don't know, support me by shopping, because welcome to capitalism. I'm gonna close the gas off, fuel off on this, and let it putter out there, and we'll see about playing next week.